The
Yeah.
Kirk, the Kirk.
Hey,
No.
guys, it's your mom's basement, episode 4. We're kind of fucking
Yay!
around right now. What's going on, guys? Um, Savannah is really worried about what's going to happen next. Yeah. Oh, wait. That's going to happen every time. Sorry.
Oh, is that your echo?
That was my echo. It's so funny you mentioned that.
I know.
We're going to talk about echoes.
I get it. I fucking get it. Because
So we
Yeah.
just decided we're just going to keep the entire episode on Savannah because she's just
No.
Yes.
going to.
And
No.
if we get enough people in the chat,
Oh
if we
my
get any people
God.
live, she'll do it in a bikini.
Yes,
You are on crack.
By the way,
Never happened.
Ian, you look adorable tonight.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I am in my natural skin. This is what I look like.
It's like I'm really glad that you actually feel comfortable enough now doing this that you're like, this is who I am. I don't have to.
Hmm.
I have to cover up. This is
I'm Godzilla.
This is it.
I'm a cosplayer.
I don't know. I think just being a onesie dino takes you to the next level beyond cosplayer. It's just like your true self. It's your
Yeah.
final form, essentially at that point.
I wore this a week ago when I was at a party and I was super drunk. Super drunk. So no, and then get this. Like something happened at the party and I was forced to take an Uber home by myself in a dinosaur onesie. No idea what was going on. I somehow managed to get an Uber and get home. The next morning I was like, did I do all that in a dinosaur onesie? Please tell me I didn't. And then my friends were like keeping an eye on me from the house and they're like, you did the entire thing in a dinosaur onesie.
Is there photographic evidence?
Oh God, I
Yes.
hope not.
Yes.
There's
Send 'em.
probably video.
Yeah.
Selfies from the cab?
Huh?
So anyone out there on the internet that has pictures of Ian at this awesome party in his dino onesie, drunk off his ass, you know where to send them.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, I don't know why the camera view's not working right now, so it's going to be all over the place. This is episode 4 of Your Mom's Basement, and basically it is an interactive comic book book club chat show thing. So we, the week prior, we'll talk about what we're going to talk about this week. Alexander's back. Space Wolf. I need to start pimping his stuff out. We really need to. Because he makes these amazing laser cut, one-off limited edition, where are they, wooden plaques?
Yeah,
Wooden posters.
he just had a release today of a couple different minis. A
Yeah.
track mini and a little astronaut mini. They're super cute.
So we need to pimp his stuff out later.
Spacewolf.com.
And anyways, well, it's an interactive chat show, and we get together every week, and we're going to talk about what it is that we're reading, and we all read it together. Then hopefully you at home actually read it along with us, and then you get to join in the chat, and we all get to talk about it. We talk about the different themes, the different artists, the writers, what they were going for, if you were getting any type of feels. Like a lot of the books that we love to read, we like to get freaked out, a little scared, and like to feel things, and that's the type of titles that we like to pick. This week I'm so fucking excited, because this week we are doing Lock and Key, guys. The first of 6, maybe 7 episodes. We're going to talk about Lock and Key, Welcome to Lovecraft by Joe Hill and art by Gabriel Rodriguez. Also, Miss Savanna, we all read it, but Miss Savanna has decided that we're also going to talk about Chew, Volume 1 tonight, and she's also going to bring us up to speed on the newest issue. I'm really excited to talk about this because this series is really good, and I'm kind of hoping, as I said, we actually get some people excited about it, and that's going to be our job tonight. That this is going to be one of those series that later on down the road we start doing like a installment, a payment plan on the series. As we talk about it every few weeks, because
All of our
it's
live
got.
favorites.
Because Chew's been around since 2009, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing. So,
It's ending soon.
which especially for Image Comics, we'll talk about that later. Very rare to see an ongoing series like that. And we're also going to talk about this sweet ass bad boy right there, Mockingbird #1 by Marvel Comics, just released this week. Really excited to talk about this. What else is there to talk about? Oh, we're really excited. We have a winner from last week. Tonight you're going to find out who won. And we're sending this really awesome We Can Never Go Home trade to that person, which, by the way, if you missed it, go check out last week's episode. So we had a huge, in-depth conversation about that. And then what
He
else?
better be watching live, or else he doesn't get the prize.
Like, that'll work, actually.
No.
Blink if you hear me.
And then what else? I guess at this point, you're kind of getting the flavor. We're letting people join the chat right now. We got 6 viewers. Not bad for a 4th episode. Also, well, we'll get to that in a second. But I'm Kirk FM. You can find me at Twitter at KirkLikeStuff, and it seems to be like where I am everywhere, like on Instagram and all that crap. But Twitter and YouTube is my deal right now. Also, let me introduce everyone to the rest of this. Oh, by the way, Yolanda. We'll talk about Yolanda later. She just joined the chat. She fucking rules. And let me introduce you to everyone on Your Mom's Basement, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Savanna. Say hello.
Hi.
Where can everyone find you?
Galactus Hungers on Instagram, Tumblr. My Twitter is hydro_honey. All the fun things.
Yep. And she is a maven, a guru. She's someone we look up to a huge deal because she's been schooling us on some titles, and I'm really excited to talk about that today. Also, and I'd like to say hello to Mr. Ian.
Hello.
The sweetest dinosaur.
I'm like Barney from hell.
And Ian, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Ian Alexander, literally on everything. I even have an LO account, and I don't know when that's going to take off, but I'm even on there. But you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, pretty much anywhere under Ian Alexander with a K and a Z.
There you go. Do you have an LO account?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Dude, I started one when there was the huge Twitter freak out, when everyone thought Twitter was going to start going with new analytics and like the way they were going to present their content. So I definitely started one up, but I don't know what to do with it yet. We'll see.
Oh, I just started posting comic book pages, like pictures of my favorite panels and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
know. It's pretty cool. They're just when I joined, they had just released it, and you needed like an invite to join, and there just wasn't enough people on there yet, so I got kind of bored, so I dropped it. But I'm thinking of going back. It seems like it's kind of taking off now.
I like the giant format where it's just literally whatever the art is encompasses your entire laptop, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, we'll give that a shot. In any case, also, you're Ronan. You're not late. You're here just in time. Thank you for joining the chat. And yeah, I guess I'm kind of excited for this. Let's talk some motherfucking comic books. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you want to start with tonight? Who wants to do it? Do you want to start with Mockingbird?
I think so.
Then go into Chew, and then we'll leave the main course for the last, being Lock and Key.
Yes.
Sweet. Let's do that. So, new up this week, just released this past Wednesday, Mockingbird #1 by Marvel Comics. Let's talk about this creative team really quickly. It is one fucking kick-ass because it's pretty much an all-female creative team. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. But the writer is Chelsea Kane. The artist is Kate. We're going to screw your name up, Kate. I'm so sorry about this. Niemczyk?
Close.
Anyone want to help me out on that one?
Niemczyk, Kane, Niemczyk, and Rosenberg.
Niemczyk. And
also, I don't know.
Kate Nunchuck. She's just that badass.
That is pretty cool too. I love this book. I fucking love this book. I was like, oh, Mockingbird, because I like S.H.I.E.L.D. and I love Bobby Morse. This book kicked ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right away. Well, who wants to start this? Because want to give the premise of this.
I'll let Savanna do this.
Well, it takes place It mostly takes place in a doctor's office. She's a patient of S.H.I.E.L.D. So the premise of the book is them explaining what she's going through having gone to Tahiti. So she goes to Tahiti, they save her life, and now she has to go and get this testing every week, and she does not fucking like it. And it's so funny. She bitches about it incessantly. It's funny. So week after week, Agent 19 has to go in and get testing from Tahiti. And there's a lot of that reference throughout the book. She'll ask where somebody is, and the only answer is Tahiti. And she'll ask where somebody else is, and she's like, where the fuck is this person? I like Tahiti. And she's just like, okay, gotcha.
Okay, and so I'm actually going to turn this over to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Guru. Ian loves freaking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well as we do. But could you maybe describe what Tahiti is in the TV show?
Well, I don't exactly remember. You just put me on this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was just gonna say that if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it is a connection to where Colt, like the first season, or I'm not sure which season it is, but there's a mystery of like Tahiti and why Coulson only remembers like going to Tahiti and nothing else, and like what this place is and where he goes, and it is part of the mystery is what Tahiti is or where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the new season started for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
The mid-season premiere was last week. I still need to get caught up on it.
Okay,
So
I need to too.
Yeah, I heard Absorbing Man showed back up again, so I'm kind of really fucking stoked about that.
Okay.
But actually,
I'll let you explain Tahiti just because I don't remember. That was, I think, at the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah, and actually you got it really, you kind of got it. Basically, Tahiti was a project or program that was essentially invented for when one of the Avengers died. And then we were very up in arms about it, and we were really angry, and then we had this really amazing episode where Coulson is talking to Nick Fury because he guest starred on an episode, and he goes, well, Tahiti was only supposed to be for when an Avenger died. And Nick Fury looks at Coulson and goes, and one did, so that's why we used it. And then you start getting all teary-eyed because you realize that Coulson is actually a motherfucking Avenger. So I thought that was really cool. But that's basically like this program. And the cool thing was is that Mockingbird actually connects to Brian Michael Bendis' run on Avengers. I want to say it was New Avengers.
Yeah.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting this right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the comic book, Bobby got injured very badly, and she doesn't have any powers. She's kind of like a Hawkeye. Yeah.
She's just a kick-ass. She just kicks ass.
She's just badass.
Yeah.
And she was near death, and essentially what happened was Nick Fury decided that he was going to take a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. That being that column A was a little bit of the what was left of an unfinished strain of the super soldier serum. Mm-hmm. And then also, I think it was called the Infinity Serum.
Yeah, Infinity. It's not called serum. It's called something else, kind of similar. Infinity Juice.
Yeah, something like that. So he took these two things, which, by the way, it's the reason why Nick Fury is pretty much ageless in the comic books, because he's got some of the same serum running through him now.
Yeah.
So he took those two, mixed them up, threw them in Bobby, and sure enough, it brought her back from death. But the thing is that we don't know if it's going to develop or conjure new powers or abilities in her. So.
Oh no.
So she is. Did we lose him?
Is Kirk frozen?
I don't know.
I see the side of his face. What do you see?
How awesome it was.
Oh wait, hold on. Coming back.
Oh, he's back.
What was? Could you not hear me?
Okay, there you are. Hi.
Hi.
What happened?
You fell into limbo for like 45 seconds, but you're back.
Yeah, really?
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
No! Technical difficulties, guys. Give me a second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're back.
All right. How far did I get on that rant?
You just kept on going, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So no. You were talking about Agent.
Last thing I heard was Nick Fury ageless in his bloodstream, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're still good, and he took that stuff, put it in Bobby, and now she's fine. But now she's being monitored to see if like new powers or anything like that start to manifest.
Fine is a relative term, because that's what things be happening in this.
Yeah.
Book. So shit's going down, and she has to like go in and sit in the waiting room of this S.H.I.E.L.D. hospital.
Mm.
or Shield. She's a Shield clinic, so she's in one waiting room. She's sitting with Howard the Duck, and she's always wearing different outfits because no matter what she's doing, if she gets beeped to go for testing, she has to go. If she's in fucking space, like in one episode or on one episode, what's wrong with me? On one page, she's in a magic costume because she was on stage with Lizard Man.
Right. Also, I like every time that she does come in, there's like a new situation. So at one point, there's like a corgi with her.
Yeah, the corgi is awesome.
I can explain the corgi, and I think they're actually going to explain why the dog is in the comic book at some point in the series.
And the art is fucking super, super cool. She almost has this like Barbie feel. Here, I'll put like this in the waiting room. Here, she's sitting next to Black Widow, and they look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's very pretty art. I love how everybody's just very good looking, very handsome. All the men, all of it. I love it.
Yeah, I like the handsome psych doctor.
And I lost my shit when I saw Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and their baby in the waiting room, and I'm like, I sent it to Kirk, and I was like, is this JJ and Luke Cage with a baby? And he's like, yes, and I was like, no.
Chicken pox. They all have chicken pox. How does Luke Cage get fucking chicken pox?
That was so cool. I actually want to show that off because this is a different scene.
That's the corgi in the room too, but she's in her Shield uniform.
Yeah, so we got the corgi. We still have Hercules. He seems to be getting his ass kicked every week and always there.
It's awesome.
You know, and that's the magic of this issue. It's like, the little things like that make me more happy than a humongous fight scene in the middle of New York. You know what I mean? Like, just seeing like the different people in the waiting room just made me so happy. The art is so pretty and happy. I don't know, but this comic is great.
Dude,
I can't wait to read it.
I also kind of like the fact it kind of reminded me of some, not Karen Gillan, who's his writing partner, McKelvey.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of like some Wicked Div, and
very much so.
So I was really into that. Like, it's the design. I love when design is really thought out and really cool.
Yeah, all the little details, the Cthulhu on the therapist's shirt, I caught all of that.
The sarcasm chart, her rainbow socks. And Tony Stark, it's adorable, and the patient history forms, and there's so many little tiny details on everything, like even like the therapist's T-shirt.
This is the comic you really want to look at the art and examine it and take it in, because you never know what you might see. You know what I mean? The little design on the shirts, and what's written in the forms, and I don't know. I really, I don't know. It just, this comic makes me happy. I like it.
And if you watch Shield too, it feels like Bobby.
Yes. Yeah.
I set my book on something and it ripped, so this one's just like trash for me. I picked it up on like an accident the other night, so.
No, I
went down to meet to that humans thing at the secret headquarters, and I was like, I'm going to a comic book store. I'm going to pick up Mockingbird. And so but then I sat on the counter and Ruby had like syrup or something, and that was not a good moment.
Okay. Don't worry. Comics are not going to be worth anything anywhere. We read them for the story. You're going to be fine.
I know.
But things I want to talk about, I really think that all the details that you guys are excited about, that we're all freaking out about, I think it's the details in the comic that are actually telling the story and giving it more layers and enriching it. Because like right away, we're like, because of the details and like the attention they paid to it, we now know these characters a little bit better than we normally would without the details. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like now we kind of know who the one doctor is with the different shirts, and now we kind of know like who some of the nurses are because of just how plain and what their little like idiosyncrasies are, especially because they keep switching from one nurse to the other, because they all going off to Tahiti.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool. Also, realistic body types in the comic, as far as like comic books go. I thought that was really cool.
One thing I do want to bring up, though, is that I was very confused by this issue, and I was like, okay, this is really confusing. I don't exactly know what's going on, but I still Loved it. But then once you get to the end, there is a full letter acknowledging that it's fucking confusing, and that's how it's meant to be. And then they'll in that letter, you really need to read it because that's where they hook you. And I can't wait for issue 2 because of that little last acknowledgement at the end. Did you guys read it?
Yeah.
Yes. The very first sentence is, "You might have some questions because what the heck? None of that made any sense at all, or did it? Do black holes make sense? Do planets make sense? Does Joan Crawford make sense? No. But these things are still awesome." And then it just goes on and on and on. And I was just like, I cannot wait for issue 2. This is great. I love it. So I'm glad that they acknowledged that it was confusing.
Right.
You know? And it's meant to be that way because they describe it as a puzzle box. And you kind of have to put it together. You kind of have to read the entire story. And then the fun of it's going to be putting everything together. Because the first issue kind of jumps from, through time a bit. And you kind of do feel it. So, I don't know. I thought that was really, really cool. That, I really did like that acknowledgement at the end.
So
Right.
I have a question.
Yes.
You think that this book is going to get flack from the type of readers who don't like the hypersexualization of women?
Ooh. Because, of their perfect bodies?
Because I know so many bitches that will hate this book because of how fine she is. And I like it. That's what I like. They're my super babes. They're supposed to be hot. So
Yeah.
I'm not one of those women, but there's a lot of chicks out there that are like, blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that. I mean, I feel you, dude, but this is not one of those books. If you don't like seeing Black Widow in booty shorts, do not pick this book up.
I love to see Black Widow in booty shorts. Pick this
Me
book
too.
up.
Me too. But they hate us for that. Those I can't. Okay, no politics. Woo, bring it down.
Yeah,
to that.
but it didn't feel it. I didn't sense any of that though. Like
Yeah, you don't
usually
think
when
that
things
way.
are over sexualized.
Some women will pick up this cover and see the way that she is. Yeah, she's got muscles and yeah, she's kicking ass. But I mean, she does have hips and she's got a waist, but she's stacked. She's supposed to be stacked. She's Mockingbird.
Right.
But a lot of people have this whole thing, and it's almost turned into an annoying bandwagon thing, and that's what makes all the fanboys talk so much shit on chicks who are into comic books, because chicks voicing their opinions, I'm all for you having opinions, but they need to be valid-ass opinions, like the way that they rip apart Rick Remender for the way that he writes women. You gotta fucking give the dude a break. He's gotta sell comic books.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a lot to be said for that because
There
especially
really is.
why don't we talk about the art first? I'm not gonna lie, it totally sings to me because I love my chick. I like my chicks. When Ian and I get along great, and this is why Savanna and I are awesome. This is why I'm so excited for our crew. I love strong female characters. I fucking love that shit.
I love it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I pick up my Miss Marvel. So that's why I was really fucking stoked for Mockingbird. And I'm not gonna lie, you look at this freaking cover. In my superheroes, I like that she's got this swagger. I like that she's everything about it is like I fucking handle business, and I'm like, as a guy, yeah, I'm into that. She's strong. She's in control. That's something I'm kind of really fucking excited about in this series. Can you guys still hear me? I'm so worried about my audio right now.
No. We can
No,
still
you're
hear.
here. We'll let you know. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a little bit.
Do one of these, like. I don't know.
No, I was just a little bit taken aback by what Savanna said because I did not think of it at all. Usually, like, people, when I pick up a comic and everybody's just super hot just for the sake of being hot, like, it makes me feel a little bit self-conscious at times. And I just did not feel it in this comic book. Like, I didn't feel self-conscious. Like, everybody... Does that make any sense? Like,
Well,
the fact that people are going to find a problem with this really upsets me.
Yeah, like, it's not even that. It used to be a big issue with the way that a lot of Marvel comics were drawn, and I understand that because that's how that whole, like, fucking 90s era was. That's what our X-Men looked like, and that's what everything looked like. And that got old, and we've kind of phased out of that a little bit, especially with, like, the indie books that we read and how Marvel's been the last 5 or 6 years. It's all just the reprogramming of the story. But to see something like this come back, to see our Marvel babes the way that they're supposed to be, not the way that they're supposed to be, the way that we like them, it's them shooting towards their target market demographic. That's what comic book sales are.
You know what? I'm going to totally have to agree with... I mean, there's both sides, but I understand, especially if you're going to sell a solo comic book series, a female solo comic book series. And on top of that, you're gonna do it with a B-list character, and you're trying to escalate that character to make it more interesting, so that.
And it's funny. They say fuck, and there's like real. It's not like it's well written. You can't tell that it's written by a chick. That's huge because most books that are written by chicks, you can tell they're written by a chick. Not trying to be sexist in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
It's how being a chick, I read the books. You can tell when a book's written by a dude.
I know. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the truth. I'm gonna have to agree with that.
And this is a guy, like guys that I know would like reading this book. It's funny. It's funny as shit. The whole corgi growling at everything is hilarious. The fucking sexy hipster doctor is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then how his, like, when shit hits the fan, he gets all like, oh god, I'm just an actor, this is amazing. He's the one that's over-sexualized. It's not just women, it's both. Like, he's this bimbo-y stud muffin.
This art is for everyone. It's for guys and for girls, and all the cute little moments. I really just stopped at this panel where like she's kind of going crazy and she's telling like Tony Stark, "Did you eat my quinoa?" I don't know.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was so cute.
He had him up against the wall. Did you eat my fucking quinoa?
I straight up want
like
more
hormones.
of this. Like I want to see like that back office like sort of interaction in the Avengers. Like I want to like I don't know why.
It would be because that's what it would be like.
Yeah, it would. No, you're absolutely right. You know what it is? It's that I know this is gonna be like the second or third week in a row we've talked about it, but this is what I'm talking about when we're missing out on like some of the little stuff in X-Men. Like I want to see that interaction where they're not just kicking ass and like saving the world.
If you could write this like in just conversations in Cerebro or conversations on the doorstep, like that one in Deadpool, like that, I missed that. It is so cool because there's so many characters, and all those characters have such deep ass personalities. Ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, it makes it. Oh, okay. We'll let her have a second. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
I do. Before we get too far from it, like we were talking about, diversity and body types, and just strong female leads. A comic that came to my mind when you guys said that was Glory by Joe Keatinge and Sophie Campbell. Wow, what happened? Why Savanna?
Oh, I haven't read that one.
Oh, you haven't read it? Okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but the art, that's an amazing story, and it has a very strong female lead, and the art, everybody, has different body types, and Sophie Campbell is so wonderful. I think Sophie, what was, I have to tread lightly on this, because, Sophie transitioned, and back then, she, the book is under, wasn't Sophie... Kirk, do you remember? Did you read Glory?
I hate to say it. The only reason I discovered who Sophie was because someone was like, hey, there's this really great comic being written by somebody who is transitioning right now. So I only knew her as she was Sophie. I don't know who she was prior.
Sophie Campbell. Let's see.
And again, I also treading lightly because I want to treat that subject with respect. Like, I don't want to...
Yeah, I'm just bringing this up because...
Yolanda just saved her ass. Jeff Campbell.
Oh, what was it?
Jeff Campbell.
Yeah, Yolanda.
Yes, Jeff. Thank you. So please, if you get a chance, support that comic. It was great. It was awesome. I love it. And if you're looking for diversity and you're looking for strong female leads, that's a great comic to get. And it's indie and it's awesome. Get it. Okay, let's move on. So Mockingbird.
Okay, no, actually, hold on one second. I think you just did something really awesome for us. Savannah, you and I have not read Glory yet, have we?
No.
Savannah? No. I just saw you pout. You're like...
No. It was a very shallow take.
So, Ian, should we in the next couple of weeks probably add Glory to...
Yeah, it's super short. I think it's only 2 volumes.
Okay,
only 2 volumes. And,
I gotta be careful. My thing keeps shaking. Anyway.
Because, of course, it got canceled at, like, issue 12. That fucking number, man. My least favorite number of all fucking time. Every story I love ends at issue 12, and I don't know why.
That's true. Actually, someone just reminded me. Comic Girl 19 did a thing on Glory, and
yeah. I think that's how I found it.
Right. Okay. So I didn't read it. That was pre-me, so I think that's something we should definitely add, and we'll talk about that. I think that's awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, so Mockingbird. Do we have anything else to talk about with Mockingbird? Because I think we all pretty much love this thing.
Give them to want to try. Anybody who's even kind of interested, just read the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You will, if you either like it or you'll hate it. It's very.
And I do want to mention, they do tell you that it's a 5-issue one-shot, right?
Yeah.
They say something about it's a one-shot, it's 5 issues, it'll end after that. So it's not a big commitment.
Which makes me love it more.
Yeah, and they rocked it in the first issue. They rocked it.
Well, I think it's exciting is because, like, if they're going to do this miniseries, and obviously we all want, I so wish the view would finally change when we talk. If we definitely want stronger female lead characters, which I do, you're going to take all my money all day once you make these titles. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Mockingbird, so that now when she's in other team books, like she is all over in Spider-Man right now. I can't wait to see what they do with this character and how it affects the other stories that she's in. So I like that they're escalating this character. I'm really, really stoked about that.
I do have a question for you guys, though.
Yeah.
What are your guys' theories, though? Because I really do want to discuss that. Does she have powers? What the hell are the zombie old people? I know I'm not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know yet, but I do want to know. I'm so curious. I'm
having problems right now. Yeah, she's. This one is like I said, it's a page turner. You want the next one as quickly as possible. So that's
Guys,
really cool.
I just want to know about that corgi. I need to know about the corgi.
They showed a picture of the next cover, and it's like a fleet of corgis.
Yes. So corgis. If you love corgis, strong female lead characters, and really good mystery, I think we should really get on board with Mockingbird. I can't wait to talk. Well, this is probably a series we'll talk about as every issue comes out once a month. So the
next three issues is what happens between appointments. So everything will be explained. Why she's wearing certain costumes, why is she with certain creatures, or you know what I mean, that type of stuff. So that they did explain that in the acknowledgement letter, that they're going to explain all of that. So I'm guessing they're going to start with what did you guys call it? The corgi?
Oh no, it was the costume. The first one was the costume, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it the sexy S&M character? No, it's the space character. Wait, hold on.
She's wearing like 10 different costumes in this book. Every time she goes into the clinic, she's wearing something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, one, she's normal. Two, she's got like rainbow bright knee highs.
I love that. They're so cute. I was like, look at her rainbow socks.
And then one, she's like in space. There was some
I'm really concerned. I really hope they show what happened before with that quinoa. I'm really curious. Who ate it, damn it? Who ate it?
These are real questions, guys. These are the tough questions, and we want fucking answers.
They're fun questions. That's why this comic is fun, because it's you know, I want to know.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm really excited.
The mundane little details I want to know more about that.
No, I'm with you. I like those. That makes it makes the characters more relatable and more fun and a little bit more real in a comic book world. That's why I like. Are we done? Are we good?
Mm-hmm. Savanna?
Yeah. Yes, Mockingbird.
You're like, yes, we have talked about
Mockingbird. We like it a lot.
Highly recommended. Please go read the book. So this is going to be more Savanna's foray. I love this comic, but now as much as a fan as I was of this thing, I didn't realize I'm not nearly as big of a fan as Miss Savanna is of Chew.
I just love it so much.
So I've got second volume here. I left the first volume at work the other night, which I'm pretty sure someone's going to steal right now. But I'm going to go grab water really quickly, and then you're going to talk about what Chew's all about. So go.
Ian, did you read volume 1? Yes?
I did. I loved it. I have a crush, I gotta say.
On Savoy. Big man. Big
Mason
man Savoy.
Big freaking bear daddy. And if you're gay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. All the visuals, Ian. I get all the visuals of you. It's awesome. So he's a bad guy, eventually. But Savoy starts off as his partner, correct? Or his second partner, right?
Yeah, because the first one, who I kind of like, surprisingly, he was kind of like an asshole at first, and then...
Colby is one of my favorite characters. He is so cool. He ends up being such a rad character throughout the whole
I've only read Volume 1, so I don't know if he comes back.
That's what I mean. I think we should only talk about Volume 1, because if we keep going on that, if I go straight to like what's happening now, it kind of ruins like all. And this is it goes number 1, or the current one is like 55 or 56.
Okay, so how about this? Let's just talk about
there,
I've
and it's
got a long way to go.
Yeah, I have at least 6 volumes, and I think there's like 9 so far.
Okay, so how about this? How about we just talk Volume 1?
Okay.
We'll get everyone like up to speed on it, and then we'll kind of gauge reaction. I know we're going to talk about this series again later.
Well, yeah. we're discussing Volume 1 for Lock and Key and Volume 1 for Chew, so maybe we should take a vote. Well, like maybe people are going to want to continue Chew after today's talk, and I definitely want more. I can't wait to read it. I'm reading on my own time if we don't discuss it further, but
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is that good.
So, Savanna, what's the story about?
It is about, the main character's name is Tony Chu, and Chu as in CHU. So he is a Sevopath, which means he can, the description says, that means he can take a bite of an apple and get a feeling in his head about what the tree grew from, what pesticides were used on it, the crop, and when it was harvested. And then it says, or he could eat a hamburger and flash into something completely else entirely. So anything that he eats, alive or dead, he knows where it's been, he can get its memories, everything. And the day and age that they're in, is it in the future? Is it technically the future?
I think it's technically the future, but they try to make it feel like it could be happening today.
It could be happening today. So yeah. Chicken has been completely outlawed due to a bird flu. So there's a lot of politics in here about the laws of the chicken and the oppression of the people. So there's a whole thing about, there's like an underground chicken eating. Think about like that South Park, the KFC fucking South Park episode.
Yeah.
with fucking Cartman and the gravy. So chicken's been outlawed, and there's like fake chicken and people like smuggling chicken into different places in different countries and different gangs, like having these fucking crazy chicken circles. And it's the police work is monitoring import and export and the black market mainly. So he starts in the police, and then he actually moves to become a federal FDA agent, which is the Food and Drug Administration. And they're all about policing like the food powers too, because it's not just Tony Chu being a Sevopath. Once you get into the books, you see all the different types of powers. There's one where everything the guy touches turns to Jello, or everything he touches turns to chocolate, or the female in the book is a Sabo
Scrivener or something.
Sabo Scrivener. She writes. And she writes about food, and it actually makes people feel it and taste it and know it. So she writes about some really bad food, and it makes people vomit when they read it. So Tony's walking through the police station, everybody's just fucking herking in trash cans.
Yeah.
And they're
I
like,
do want to mention, I feel like the writer and the artist of this comic are Sabo Scriveners, because I did tell Kirk on a DM, I was like, dude, like this Chew is amazing, but when I read it, it really makes me want to almost barf. But in a good way. But I mean, there are times when when we're following Jimmy Chew and he has to solve certain crimes. Like I think at one point, is that Volume 2? Okay, well, for instance, at one point they find a severed finger in a junk heap, and so they know that there's been some sort of crime committed. So everyone has to look at Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, are you fucking joking me? And the art gets really weird and dark and gross, but it's basically just a silhouette of him, biting into this raw, severed finger. And it's, weeks old, too, or something.
There's another one where a dog is part of, crime scene evidence, and he goes in, 3 weeks later and opens up a box, and he's like, why is this rotten dog in a bag? And he has to, bite it and see where everything's been, or the more of it he eats, the more of it he sees, and there's whole and anything, everything. The box just says organic, And he's like, what the fuck is this? And it's hilarious. The art is so fucking cool. It's not. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. I saw that he did some panels from Secret Avengers, and I almost lost my shit. I was asking fucking everybody about that. Any art that this guy touches, I can't get fucking enough of.
Dude, does it remind you of Luther Strode a little bit?
It does, but not as clean as Luther Strode is clean and sexy. Fucking Chew is really crunchy.
Yeah, I remember thinking that. I just lost it because I remember thinking that, but I didn't know if I should bring it up because I did. It's like a hint though. It's like the art being used in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of the people have like different cybernetic enhancements. Like you'll see with, I'm gonna spoiler this for you a little bit, Ian. Colby survives and gets half a face, and it's like a fucking cybernetic laser eye fucking face. It's rad. I love it. And there's these little things called chogs. People try to like breed chicken and frogs, and you'll see in upcoming too. It's like one of my favorite characters ever, and they're little.
Oh, you guys know how I feel about frogs.
Yeah, all my favorite books are weird frogs.
Because I mean, I did start reading because I used to read this series, but I started getting ahead again. But this is the greatest thing. This is what Savanna was talking about. Meets Poyo.
Is that Poyo?
Okay, Poyo is another character that's going to be coming, and he's an agent of the FDA. I'm not going to give away his whole story yet, but he's a fucking cybernetic robot chicken rooster, assassin, and he's one of the most deadliest, nastiest. Think of your hardest Luther Strode panel, and imagine this fucking cocky, shit-eating chicken like fuck your mama all over the place. He goes to hell and fucking tears that shit up and goes back. He comes back to life because he fucked hell up, and he's just fucking cooler than all of that shit. Poyo is God. Oh my god, I love him.
He is so much so that you're getting a tattoo, right?
Yes, I am getting a Poyo tattoo somewhere.
That makes me excited. I can't wait to get there. When is he introduced? What volume?
The next one.
Volume 2.
Volume 2?
Yeah,
okay,
like
super excited.
Volume 1 is just like setting up what the book is about. Him and his partners and their powers and what the world is now and all the politics of it. His first like lady friend, that mystery person in bandages, and then in the other books you meet all of his extended family, and like his daughter is like one of the coolest characters ever. Like Olive,
Wait,
I love
who
you.
has a daughter?
Tony Chu. Tony, the main character.
He has a daughter?
He has a daughter. You'll see. I'm sorry.
I know you're getting excited. You're getting excited.
And I know this is so bad because like I don't have Volume 1 with me. I just might keep out of Volume 2. But there are times the dialogue is awesome. We need to talk about that. I mean, for all the
onomatopoeias, like all the most amazing sounds you can fucking visualize are in this book. Like every knife, every tooth grind, every food adjective you've ever thought of and Savoy is very literate. Like he talks like a motherfucking smart ass gentleman. And I have like sometimes I remember reading this book, I'm like, what does that word mean? Means.
And there are times like I want to show this off. Like the conversations are really good. I like the dialogue a lot. And then also there's some pretty cool like the way they emote of what's going on with the characters you're feeling in the series.
Oh, the fucking bubbles with ice on them. I love those.
Yeah.
I love those. I automatically think of a frigid tone. That's right. It's genius.
Right. Okay, so what else? Oh, we should talk about the team. So the writing team is John Layman and Rob Gilroy. And the only other time I've ever seen Rob do anything was for the Secret Avengers for a couple of issues, which, by the way, can't wait one day to talk about Secret Avengers.
I love Secret Avengers.
Did John Layman do anything else? This is something we should have probably researched.
I didn't do any research, and I've never read anything else by him. I've never seen anything else by him.
I've never seen anything else by him. Other things I want to say, I love when a creative team like this has basically stuck with you, because you know at one point this thing's going to end. Like they have an ending like figured out for it.
Yeah, they already said that. It's like there's only like 3 left. It's almost over. Yeah, there's only like 3 left. It's almost over.
Okay.
I just found that out recently too, and I was like, oh God, my heart.
Okay, so maybe, God, dude, honestly, if when the series ends, we should probably do an anthology
Well,
episode.
this specific title, each arc is fucking completely different than the one before it. There's continuity because of the job that they're in, it's each book is a new case or new cases. There's a new like demi bad guy, and then there's always the superior bad guy, or there's like so many fucking twists, and it's a super twisty. If you like
Right.
super twisty books, this is a good super twisty book.
It is
So entertaining.
dude,
55 issues of fucking entertaining.
right. And that's the other thing I want to talk about with everything else that goes on with Image Comics right now. Because I'm sorry to bring up bad feelings, Ian. I'm so sorry to say this. when a lot of series do end at issue 12, can you guys, off the top of your head, in this conversation once with somebody else, can you name other titles that are indies that are going this long? Because it's 50 issues in now. Like off the top of your head.
Nothing in my poll.
Other stories that are getting
Spawn.
up there?
But Spawn has changed so many times, but Spawn's on like 250, 263.
I think Spawn, I think Savage Dragon, I think Elephant Man.
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. That's a good one.
Why the Last Man went for a long time. Preacher went for a long time.
Need to look at
Criminal went for a long time.
Well, those were, Criminal was installments. Why was
right?
Was story. Criminal was installments. Like there were always, it was like a lot of the same characters showing up. I can't say anything bad about Brubaker. That man's a god.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was, I know that Preacher, stuff like that. But any like those other titles you were talking about, those were Vertigo series. So I love that this comic has such staying power right now. That there are people that are just as obsessed about it as Savanna is.
If you read it, there's nothing to not like about it. It's you just have to read it. A lot of people would look at it like meh, you know. But if you're into that type of like bright colors and fun characters and good writing, it's really solid writing from like top to bottom all the way through. And it's not super pretty.
Oh, Lazarus 19 put in the chat stray bullets, but they have renumbered it, so I guess it doesn't count. Black Science, Les Stash mentioned that one.
Okay.
And I know that Savannah's an expert on Black Science, so what issue is that one on?
Black Science is on 30-something.
Wow.
Is it really?
I don't know, maybe 25 or 24.
I remember when that one came out. Wow.
God, because I've only been reading in trades. Jeez, he's been like pumping that thing out.
I don't think it's that many. It might be like 18.
Okay.
At best.
Well, I mean, geez, I love when it's so funny because we are obsessed with Image Comics, especially once you keep watching the show and you see who we are as people. Like Image is our crack, as Ian once said, and I'm really excited and also a little scared to like start getting on a series for Image that is going to run that long, because you're always afraid that like at some point like the quality of it is going to diminish. But I mean, I think we can take it from Savanna at this point that as the series keeps going, like it's because
it keeps changing. Like I said, it's because of the way that they have been writing the book. It's always different, but it's consistent.
So I'm into it.
I'm into it too.
I can't wait until these guys do another series or another comic. Is that
they will?
What's that?
You think they will? Maybe that's why they're ending it, is because they can only do one at a time? I haven't heard any rumors of if they're doing anything else.
Ooh, you know what? This is stuff I want to check into because, and don't forget, this thing started back in 2009, so they're having a really great run with this right now. I want to see them do other things.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like our favorite team.
This art is just goddamn killer. Look at that. Oh, huge.
I'm so used to having it in my life. I'm gonna be sad when it's over.
I went right to the page that was huge boobs. Sorry, guys. But there's little things like, like there's little stuff like this. It's just creepy enough. But like the bowler suit with the eyes in it. I mean.
No, I haven't seen that.
Gotta eat the eyeballs.
Sorry about that. But the series is definitely. But one of the other things, I think the reason why, because like Savanna was saying, it always changes, is that there's so many new fun concepts that are original in this series. That, dude, do we want to talk about this? Do you think iZombie rips off this comic book?
Yes, and it pisses me off because this one was gonna be up for like a show or something, and then iZombie came out just before it, and I like iZombie, I guess, and I like the idea of it, but this was right. This was so right, and now because people don't read this book, they're gonna think that this book ripped iZombie when it's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Yeah.
She eats the brains and sees the things, and she's a zombie. And I mean, I get that that's a different concept, so it's not a direct rip. This is probably a whole lot more difficult to convey in a show or a movie. And do it right, the way that the book made it. Like, this book puts you in that storage locker where they found that finger.
Yeah.
You feel that shit.
I can't talk about how visceral Chew is. It's just, like, but all the things we were talking about with how they draw, like, the word balloons and the way that the characters, their powers work, and the way that they have to describe the certain scenes and situations that are happening in this comic, it puts you in it. Like, you honestly have to kind of catch your breath when you come out of the volume and realize, like, oh, wow, I needed a second, because you are in this comic.
They wanted you to feel and see this book a certain way, and that is exactly how you fucking feel it. Without any question. Like, there's no misinterpreting this book or the message in any way, shape, or form. Right. And it's fun at the same time. It's hilarious. The first book is a little intense, but it gets really funny in lots of different places.
Oh my god, it's
like one shots.
One instance where it's really funny and cute is when he goes up to meet what's her name? Amelia Mintz, and then he's just like, he does this like amazing speech of how much he loves her and admires her, and then like in reality it was just mumbles. It's like, I don't know what you said, and then you see what really happened. It's just like mumble, stutter, mumble, FDA, mumble, stutter.
Imagine this super suave moment, and then it's actually him just like sweating and gasping.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because I was like, I could not. When I was reading the amazing speech, I was like, he did not just do this. He did not edit it. It's like, wow, look at you go, man. And then nope. Mumble, stutter, stutter, mumble.
It was cute. It was cute.
Apparently, the entire chat is asking us to talk, just to mention to Savanna right now, One Punch Man.
Oh, yeah.
One Punch Man. Yeah. Jim people.
I haven't read it.
Nobody else One Punch Man?
Not yet. I'm seeing it all over the place on Tumblr.
It's hilarious. You have to.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you some things. I'm gonna send you some things, and we'll talk about it in the next episode.
Oh, do you want to give a little bit about One Punch Man? Just kind of like what it's about?
No, because it needs its whole own conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my homework section.
We should have like a whole like manga episode.
Okay, so I think Glory. I'm taking notes right now. Glory and then One Punch Man. We're gonna add those to the list.
Totally.
Which I desperately need to do, because I was starting to freak out about, like, every week we're going to talk about comic books, and I realized that there are so many great series out there that we're not going to get bored.
I'm just trying not to like super stray off track, because if we start going in that direction, I will take us.
Oh, dude! If we start doing manga and anime, it's a deep dark well that I will fall down.
It is a deep dark well.
Then we're like, also we're like on Battle Angel Alita. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. So, yes. Chew.
If you're into weird shit, go pick up Chew.
Dude,
I do want to say though, I got this feeling. Not everybody will get it, but it kind of felt like it was Sex Criminals, but with food. Ooh. Did anybody get that? Sex Criminals, but with food.
A little bit, yep. The Sex Criminals art is like I said, it's sexier. There's nothing sexy about Chew. At all. Nothing.
Mason Savoy.
Oh, okay. If you're into that, and that's your thing, then that's sexy. But like for most people, it's just one of the. It's fun. It's fun to read.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Okay, so we'll definitely talk about Chew more often as other volumes go and as the series is going and as the show is still going. Hopefully that's something that's still going. I don't know what else to say to that.
Science and magic.
Oh my! But yeah, so I'm really glad we got to talk about Chew. I'm also really glad that we let Savanna do her thing because when she said Chew, I was like, oh, I love Chew, and then Savanna started talking about it in the DM, and I went, I thought I knew Chew. I didn't know Chew.
You
so
guys, Savanna has the most exquisite taste in comics. She has blown my mind with the comics I've read because of her. I do gotta say, whatever this woman says, read it. Like, don't sight unseen, just do it.
Yeah.
Just because I read all the things. That's all.
All the things.
All the things. And if I don't like it, I don't like it.
So that was Chew.
I did bring the idea though. We should do an episode of comics we may not necessarily like though.
Oh
we
God!
Definitely decided that that's something that's going to happen at some point.
That one will be fun.
There might be one later.
We should do that. That one should be a drinking game. Like a
you have to take a shot every time for you to say something bad. Like you have to take a shot every time you need to.
I fucking hate that.
Fuck, this sucks, shot. This was misogynistic and stupid, shot. You know, like.
There's a lot of that.
Or like at any point we're like, do you think it rehashed that idea? I think it's already an idea it's used. I think that's unoriginal. Shot.
Oh,
by the end of it, we're gonna love the comics. We're like, I can't do this. This comic's awesome.
We'll be drunk and be like, but it really wasn't that bad.
I'm totally down to do a special.
Okay, hold on. If anybody out there read the Battle World version of fucking the worst comic book I've read in probably the longest time ever, the Battle World version of Marvel versus Zombies.
Oh.
The most recent one. Did anybody fucking read that? Did you read that?
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
Oh.
It was so horrible. I can't believe anybody let that go to a printer. I was absolutely mortified. I was mortified.
I mean, especially with all the different Brave stories that they were doing with that
world. And how many Marvel zombie books there are, Marvel and Carnage, or the Carnage zombie stuff there was. As soon as they put that fucking chick in there with that dialogue, I was sick to my stomach. It was horrible.
No, I'm completely with you on that, especially because like Robert Kirkman did that first Marvel versus Zombies, and then he was like, all right, cool, I'm done, I'm out. And Marvel just beat that idea into the ground. Forever and ever. And I think at one point they were saying like the third run was not even selling at all. But they just kept doing it because like, oh, eventually like people are gonna like zombies again. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, they were just running on that zombie train. That's all that was.
Yeah.
And it was a horrible job. I mean, the art was pretty cool, but as soon as there was any words, just it's like, you know, one of those paper bag situations.
So it was just the worst thing on the face of the earth. Let me disappear for a second. All right.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Nice shirt.
Hawkeye.
Big fan t-shirts.
I'm pretty sure you're waiting oh, dude, I don't know. Your Groot loops are awesome, but I'm also checking out Ian's
Dino costume. It rules. I love dinosaurs.
Sorry. I think Ian won the best
Who
shirt.
wants to pull my tail? Does anybody want to pull my tail?
Walk around holding it and petting it.
Oh yes, baby. Ow.
I will never yank your tail in a mean way. I promise.
No animal.
That's all people do when I wear this thing. They either ride my tail or do I feel so abused after I wear this thing in public.
That's how all the other little dinosaurs show that they like you. They're kind of mean. That's how it works. You know, it's like when they tug on your pigtails or they kick the chair out from underneath you. It's because they don't know actually how to, you know, express that they like you. So they're just kind of mean. So, next person that yanks in your little dino tail. Might pay attention.
Punch him in the face.
Yes.
Okay, Lock and Key. Is that what's next?
Lock and Key.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, Savanna, what did you think? Because this is what I've been waiting for all week.
Mm-hmm.
Because this book means the world to me.
This is insane.
I loved it. I read it cover to cover without putting it down. I loved it. It was really, 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 really cool. The art is incredible. Oh my gosh. When fucking the first panel with Nina and the axe in the fucking beginning. Whoa. Dude, I was not ready for that. And I was like, this is it. And that's when I knew that I was like ready. I'm like, I love it. I love it. I love the whole, I love fucking Tyler. I love fucking, I love I love it.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
That makes me so happy. I think Ian and I can both say that we're really relieved because we were like, I hope she really likes this. But
yeah, because it's if you're not ready, because it's very gruesome and it makes no apology about it. It's very gruesome, and you know what I like about Lock and Key is that it deals with so much just in the first volume. So Kirk, do you want to set the scene on like what exactly is going on?
Okay.
I can't. Oh, okay, real quick. I can't wait to find out what the symbolism is with the moth.
Ooh.
I can't wait to find out what that is because it's been driving me crazy. I'm like, all right, there's so many like little things, like so much foreshadowing. It fills you up. You're just like, oh my god, I can't even process or remember all the little super obvious hints that they just. I love the way that they laid this book out.
You don't even.
I'm so ready.
Okay.
I broke it down per issue. I took notes per issue for Lock and Key Volume 1.
Okay, so we might get a little spoilery. We might, because this is.
Oh God, try not to, because I need this shit really bad.
No. For the viewers, right?
Oh, okay,
right.
Okay. Yeah, don't go past number 1.
We're only going to talk about volume 1.
Number 2. Now I'm gonna get all of them that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go find all of them and read them all immediately.
So essentially, Lock and Key is a 6-volume series. It was released in single issues over on IDW. It is written by Joe Hill. Joe Hill is actually the son of Stephen King, who for a very long time was already a best-selling author. Joe's the man. He was already a best-selling author in his own right before people figured out that he was Stephen King's kid. So
that's the best thing about it. That's why he didn't use his last name. That's why he's Joe Hill, because he wanted to become an author on his own right. And it was genius. Like, this man created his own like universe, and it's so fucking good. The father and him started combining their universes. Holy fucking shit, man. Like, a lot of cussing going on.
Holy fucking shit.
No.
Hold on.
So, wait, hold on. We lost.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, I think she's getting into her bikini.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So basically, oh shoot, I don't want to go too far without her. Essentially, we have a family who was living, I guess, on the West Coast, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they are part of a horrible B&E and murder, and their family is basically terrorized by these two kids, about 16 or 17 years old, and we get a lot of backstory about them later on. And essentially, the father is killed, the mother is definitely terrorized and traumatized, and we'll maybe talk about that one panel. But they essentially survive the attack and decide that the best thing to do is to go back to Massachusetts and move into the family estate, which is this place called Key House. And it's sorry about that. Go away.
It's a magical place where anything can happen.
Magical place. It's a very dark and scary magical place where anything can happen. But there's so much setup before they actually get to this house about what how the house is safe for this family only. So that to me is a big mystery because I don't know why yet. So I'm just like,
So essentially, it really is a safe house. I mean, the family's decided that they're going to move back to Massachusetts, and it's going to be like a new start for them. Go back to the family estate, which is this great, beautiful, gothic house with its own plots of land, and there's like a water well, and it's right next to the pond, and so it's a lot of property on a small island.
The family
And-
owns half the island.
Yeah, essentially. So this is what sets up Lock and Key. And we start, more than anything else, once we find out about what happened with the dad and the mom and how the family was traumatized, the first part of the book, and Ian was talking about this earlier, and I thought this was going to be a really good idea, how to open up this conversation, is that it really deals with how everyone in the family is coping with the depression and the trauma and basically, like, in certain ways, PTSD with what happened to their family. And I thought that was a really great thing to do, focusing on each character and how they are dealing. Guys, take it from there.
Can I start?
Yes.
'Cause oh my god. Okay. So each issue, the first issue, I kind of broke it down because there's a lot going on, and the first volume really deals with what's happened and kind of like the aftermath of it. The first issue really deals with be careful what you wish for, because it starts with Tyler kind of being like, I don't want to be here. I wish something horrible would happen so I don't have to be here. I want to go back home. I want to go to concerts. I want to learn how to surf. This isn't what I want to do. I don't want to paint the family vacation home, and I don't know where they are. So and then it's really about like, and then something horrible does happen.
Right.
And then there's a lot more to that you learn later on, but the first issue really deals with, be careful what you wish for because you may get it.
Right.
And you kind of see that also with Lesser too, because Lesser is one of the people that come in and kind of they're one of the people that come in to kill the father, the person that dies.
And the character's name is Sam Lesser, so we're going to keep referring to him as Lesser a lot in this conversation.
And he's only 17, and he was sent to a juvenile detention center.
After the whole attack.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that with him too. Be careful what you wish for, because he ends up getting what he wants from this entity, and it's it's kind of like a genie situation where you make a wish and you may not necessarily you get what you want, but not necessarily exactly what you want. So and then as the story goes on, you really see how these kids are dealing with their father's passing. Like, for example, with let's see. How do you say the little kid's name? Because I think I've always been saying it wrong.
I read it as Bodhi.
Bodhi. Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bodhi, he creates this comic at school, and
It's so cute.
It's so cute, and he ends up finding this key, this magical key, while he's trying to reach for some swords, which almost like cut him in half. And it's funny because a little bit before they say, I think he can manage 10 minutes without like killing himself, and then the next panel is like him playing with swords. So he draws this comic, and he talks about how he can become a ghost now because of this magical key he's found, and he describes it as a sock without a foot in it, and his body, because he ends up walking through this door and his body just falls dead. And then his spirit kind of is free to roam around. And then there's this part where he's like, I wish I could tell my brother and sister this, because if I did, and if they knew how much fun it was, they wouldn't feel so bad about Dad. And you just can't wait to feel.
Do you think he sees that they want a place to escape?
Yeah,
That's what I took it as. Like, he sees that they want a place to hide because she's hiding like her total identity, and he's hiding in work. Like, I saw it as he's like, oh, they would love to get the fuck away. There's like a whole page of him recognizing that he's a ghost. Like, you walk through the door and it's like walking through a wall. Your ghost goes one way and your body just turns into like this zombie, and he stands out there, little ghost baby, and he looks at his body, and then he's like, oh, holy shit, and then he jumps back in it, and it's there's no words. It's just him.
Right. And then
you learn there's so much character building in this book. I love that.
And I think one of the other things is because Bodhi is so young, and this is kind of his first, experience with death and what it is.
He's so mature for his age, though.
Right.
6 or 7. How old is he?
I'll put him at like 7 or 8.
Okay.
But one of the things was just that it's so funny because through happenstance and by finding this key in the house that is kind of granting him this weird, strange new power, or this experience, is that at his age dealing with death, it's this weird way with him, through actions, learning about death and coping with it. And it's this weird, strange situation where he's kind of like, it's not so bad. Like, you know, and it's a really creative way to watch this like young person learning about what death is and how they're processing it and kind of soaking in, trying to work it out. So when he discovers this key, and basically key, it works on any door. You can put it in a door, and once you walk through the threshold of the door, like Ian and Savanna were saying, your body just falls down. Also kind of looks dead, like color drains from the body, and you are this like, you know, corporeal spirit. And it's just so funny that it's all happening to basically the youngest person in the story.
The person who would really be the most open for these extraordinary, you know, happenings, I guess.
It's a young person.
Yeah, they say that the adults can't see the magic in the house.
Yeah, yeah, and then they even start to touch on the fact that at some point when you start to get older, the house makes you forget all the experiences and powers that it has. Because I think it's kind of a fable tale for as you get older, you start to believe less in magic. You don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. You don't believe in the Tooth Fairy and that sort of thing. And so I thought that was a really kind of sad. Like, well, you get old and you start to leave those things behind. And you know, that's kind of my deal with that.
Yeah, and so, you know, right now Bodhi's in this journey of just trying to understand everything that's happening right now, and also he's exploring the house, and that's a lot of fun too, because he really has this amazing attitude about it, and he's really cute, and you know, and there's this part, and then we move on to the older brother and sister, and then while he's a ghost, while he's using the power of the ghost key, he goes and looks into his sister's bedroom, and you know, she is crying and holding this pillow as hard as she can, and kind of reenacting her saving her little brother during the little incident over at their vacation home. You know, I made notes over here. You know, they did an amazing job at portraying the fear of the unknown, explaining how Kinsey hugged her brother so hard she had left bruises on his neck, and how she bit her lip so hard she bled to keep both quiet. And you know, it's kind of touching on the PTSD that she has. She's still bringing herself to that moment and reenacting it, and she's just trying to process it, and that's really interesting to me. Like, if you are going through a tough time, if you're grieving right now, Volume 1 is a really good book to read, because it can kind of help you through it in a way, because you see it's these characters' journeys on grieving and how they're dealing with it, and going, you know, and coming, you know, and and just rising above it, I guess.
No. I think that's actually a really great point, because even though we're dealing with a supernatural story, the real world, like, characters, and like, these are very human feelings and emotions that watching these characters go through their grieving processes is so real. I mean, that's a legitimate thing that people are going through.
So much character building in this book, and even Bodhi, like, yeah, he's really cute and sweet and shit, but he's also super fucking surly, and he's realizing a lot of stuff happening around him, and the things that he's doing and saying and reacting to his siblings grieving is great to read, because you don't expect it. You don't expect him to talk shit back, like, of what his brothers are thinking or how he's been creeping on them while he's a ghost, and it's really entertaining. I like it a lot.
And it's so funny because, like, it's through child's eyes. He's watching how the other people are grieving. By kind of like ghost spying on them, which is kind of weird.
And his mom is accepting it, and he's like, but Mom understands, and it's cool because she's just trying not to make him feel like the way he's acting is bad, because he's just grieving, when she doesn't understand that he's telling the truth.
Right.
She's just rolling with it because she's the only one just rolling with it.
And of course, leave it to like a great, you know, to Joe Hill to create a story where the youngest person in the family who's more susceptible to believe like story tales or fairy tales and like magic and that sort of thing, he's the one always trying to tell the family like, no, really, there's a ghost in the well house. No, really, I could turn to and the whole family's just like, whatever, Bodhi. And I love that in really good horror comics, either the child is the scariest character or he's the one that knows he's the only one that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And in this case, we have a character who knows exactly what's going on, and he seems to be the only one that knows what's going on. Where else? Oh, do we want to talk about who Sam Lesser is and what happened? What the situation was that sent the family to Massachusetts?
I feel like we should touch on the person in the well, and then touch on Lesser, because that kind of those two things.
That connects. Yeah. Okay, so there is a voice coming from there's a well house. It's kind of like a water well, and like just slightly off of another part of the property. And Leo's asking, because we're about to talk about Echo. We're going to try to answer that question right now, Leo. Good call on that one. There is this spirit or creature or thing. It looks like a human, but it lives in the well, and it's literally an echo. And it seems to really only speak to Bodhi, and to a certain point, we also realize that it's now talking to Sam Lesser. And how would you explain who Echo is in the well?
She's like a phantom, but she almost seems solid. She's not ghost-like, like they get ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
She's this girl in the well to him,
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they communicate, she starts as an echo, like he says something and it echoes back, and then he says another thing and she says his name, and so he bails.
Yeah.
And he's like, "There's that thing
like,
in the well
"No."
said my name," and then the brother comes out there and he's like, "It's locked. We can't get in there. There's fucking nobody in that well. It's an echo." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he has the dream, and he's been having these dreams about things that had happened in the past, and they're almost subtly giving him hints, which I don't know anything about why he's getting these hints. I don't know if it's the keys or the house making him think this shit. But he has a dream, and he'll wake up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and he'll go out to the well and have like a conversation with this person, throwing a ball in the air, like talking about shit, and she's all like, "Well, I know this," and she kind of explains the house and how all the magic that's happened in the past, and she briefly touches on past incidences, manipulating the way that he sees her and sees the house.
Right. And I think one of the things that's interesting is that she comes out right away and explains, like, "Oh no, I'm left over. I'm kind of left over from another person."
Yeah,
So
like she just lives at the house and haunts there.
Yeah, like, and apparently,
it's almost like she's kind of the echo of another person from times past.
Exactly, and that's kind of like that's such a really cool concept that we might not actually dealing with, like the antagonist might not actually be from it's from a previous part in time, but we're dealing with a copy or a version or energy left over from that person from another time. So it's this really awesome, strange concept.
She's spooky, and she's hot, and she's like slick, and she's got this like Medusa type vibe with her like snake eyes.
Mm-hmm.
She's a really cool character. I really, really, really dig the way that they did that with when she wasn't. And then she gets the mirror, and you're just like, "Oh fuck, what?"
Yeah.
That's scary. I was like, "Oh, that is
a really great reveal there." And I hate the fact that we're not showing off this art right now, because what we're trying to explain is that the art is a very interesting choice for this story, because it's cartoony and light.
I was not expecting this art for this book, and it works. Like, the way that Sam looks is fucking freaky.
Mm-hmm.
He's a scary-looking bad dude, especially the way that his eyes are, like when he's in the boat.
And I kind of want to I don't want to give too much away, but this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with like very lighthearted art that is relaying really dark imagery. There's some really scary shit in here. I don't know if it was on purpose, like they knew that if to tell like a really good family story, you needed like family-oriented art, but because of the material that this story deals with, it kind of shocks you a little bit.
Really real. It's in the parts where it's supposed to be light, it's light with kind of a dusky feel, but in the parts where it's dark, it's really, really dark. But like with the mom, she wears like all black all the time, and that feels super real. Or like the way that the kids dress and their style, and the way that changes as they go in and out of their grieving process.
Especially when you talk about the character building in the story, like it's contemporary. It doesn't feel like Joe Hill is trying to write his best impersonation of what he thinks teenagers are like today. Like, he knows. He gets it.
There was research done.
Yeah, and I mean, Oh, see, I want to show this stuff off because I want people to understand what we're dealing with here. Because the art will put you off at first.
Here, let's see.
But
No.
there we go. Oh, ooh, it is gnarly.
Can I share this? Wait, let me see. Let me try something new because we're dealing with technology here.
I know. I'm the guy who's like, look, just look.
Yeah.
Can you guys see what I'm showing?
Yes. Yep, I can see it.
Cool. Did you know that you can screen share certain windows?
You explained that to me, and I got really scared to do it.
Until you swipe too hard and all your pornog is on TV.
Ooh.
Ooh, I gotta be careful. You guys don't want to see my daddy porn.
Oh,
Okay, so how well can you guys see the art? Does the art look okay?
Looks great.
So
Yeah.
I think Savanna mentioned when a lesser is on the boat. Is this what you were talking about?
Yeah, we've got Lesser on the boat right now.
He's so scary.
Yeah.
So Lesser is the person who did kill the father. He also had help with another accomplice who did not make it out from the attack. Mom put an axe to the back of the guy's head.
Very, very cool fucking panel, though.
I will show it right now.
Alrighty. And I think that's really important to show the fact that even though Mom's kind of holding
Look at this girl. She's just like, fuck you, dude. Axe to the head.
But, I mean, I'm sorry. That's what a mom's going to do to protect her family. Like, that's not as is the ordinary. I think if you're part of an attack or traumatized like this, yeah, I think that's exactly what you're going to do to protect your family.
They are just not, like, I mean, just the art, they're not afraid. They just will do anything and everything in this comic. And you know, Kirk and I know, but Savanna doesn't, but they just die in the most original ways, I think. I feel like, you know, I love horror, so I've seen people die in every single way possible, but this is just unique at times.
Yeah.
It's just graphic.
And on top of... And on top of like the characters, our main characters being so well thought out, we really do need to talk about how well thought out Sam Lesser is, because he isn't just some sort of homicidal maniac with a death wish. He's actually a very highly intelligent teenager who is very confused about what the real world is like or how he processes things. Like they actually touch on the fact that he's probably got some mental instability, but he's highly intelligent, and it's when you start learning about who Sam is, and he's a horrible character. He's a terrible, terrible person. But you start sympathizing with him at points in the story because of who his upbringing is, what his parents were, and the things that he's willing to do in order that he thinks that he's doing the right thing. And there's some really adult-oriented... I mean, like, there's the way he decides how he's going to hitchhike to get caught back up with the family.
Man, I was like... Is that happening? Yes, it is. That's happening.
That was rough.
Are we gonna put that on the screen?
I'm looking for it. We're talking about the... Where is it? Oh, where is it? Well, I'm near. I can feel it.
Scene.
Yeah, the kid is...
Oh, here we go. Well, I think...
No, we're there.
This one, do you guys see this? I'm gonna talk... Yeah. Do you guys see this? He's not reaching for the keys. Let's just say that much.
That's a very tactful way to put it.
He's not reaching for the keys, so yeah. So you know, you just feel bad for this character because when you get a look at his past and you see where he's coming from, you know, he's just so broken by everything. Like, mom is just a bitch and dad is just an abusive asshole, and you know, this person has nothing left to lose, so he's vulnerable to outside influence. So when Echo comes into the picture, like, you know, she can really mold him into whatever she wants him to be because he has nothing else left.
Have you mentioned that all of everything that's happening is because of this well person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Sam Lesser is doing all of this stuff per Echo's instructions.
Yes. So you have to understand, like, Sam is actually being controlled by... What we're saying is that he's actually being controlled by whatever this entity or the spirit is that's living in the well. And we find out through flashbacks that it's actually been happening ever since high school. Like, before the attacks, the whole thing's being put into place and being set in motion by this creature, whatever it is.
Yeah, this book jumps in between so many different things And well, too. It's not a mess. Like, you can follow it. Like, you see where the panels are, and you remember where it is, and they do a really good job moving you around so that the next page you turn, you're just like, whoa, shit. It's really exciting. Exciting.
So yeah,
It's
so
really fucked up. It's really fucked up.
You just don't know. You don't know how to feel about Lesser because, you know, I don't know if you guys can see this panel, but you see this one right here where, like, the mom is just smoking a ciggy, and then he's like, so proud, I got the score I needed on my SATs. Can we talk about college? She's like, fuck you, I'm going out. And then here's his father beating the shit out of him because of his essay, I'm guessing, that he had to write. He's like, are you telling these motherfuckers I'm beating you? Well, I'm going to beat you now, bitch. And then you see here that he's being bullied by, I guess, the popular kid, the quarterback or something, like making him sniff his cup. So this person is just the perfect character, you know, the perfect person to just mold into what you want them to be. You know, he's so easily influenced because Echo is kind of promising him a new face, a new life, essentially a new life. Yeah. And a new home. So, you know, eventually Lester ends up in jail for the murder, and then he's like, this isn't what you promised, because he gets the shit beat out of him with a brick by Tyler. So, and then, you know, he's now in a juvenile detention center. So he's like, he talks to Echo through the toilet water, and Echo's like, he's like, this isn't what you promised me. He's like, they gave you exactly what I promised. You have a new face and you have a new home. And then, you know, it's another, again, like, be careful what you wish for, because you may get it.
Now here's an interesting concept to maybe kind of chew around a little bit. Do you think that Echo in the well, the reason that she's able to communicate with Lesser through that picture that was in Tyler and Bo's dad's office? Do you think
I didn't see that until the second time I went back to it, and I was like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Wait. Say that again. I'm sorry. I was trying to get myself out of screen share.
That's okay. Because let's get you back into face share. Hi. Do you think that the reason that Echo was able to communicate with Sam Lesser is because Sam does have mental trauma, and that he's probably, even though a highly intelligent person, still is very childlike? It's almost like he's the anti-Bodhi, where Bodhi's like still very much a child and believes in magic and is, you know, easily able to talk to Echo because of those beliefs and things. Do you think that's how Echo looked at Sam Lesser and went, like, you will actually believe me and accept that I exist?
Yeah, I see that. I mean, Lesser definitely has some things going on in there, and I do agree with what you're saying. I think that's definitely something that could play a factor as to how Lesser can communicate with Echo, because Echo can't communicate with just anybody.
Right. Like, see, because like you would think that if this was the case where she could just like try to put these sort of things into motion, that she would be able to reach out to any poor idiot and start doing this, manipulate them. But it's such a well-crafted story, because even though you know it's a comic and it totally works the way Joe wants it to, like I can conceivably see like this creature in the well just biding its time and just waiting for the perfect situation and opportunity to arise. And it makes so much sense in this comic. It's so believable. I know that sounds stupid, but it's the truth.
It kind of, you know, this is something definitely that Echo has been working towards for a really long time, because, you know, like, she needed somebody to get in there, to come back to Key House. So she orchestrated this entire thing. She found Sam Lesser to kill the father so the family could move to Key House, so she could have access to Bodhi, who could finally free her from the well. Because she's stuck in there. She's kind of like, she's locked in there, and she says it. I'm locked in here. I need a way out. I need, you know, there's a key I need. Where's the key? And then, you know, so this definitely was well thought out and planned. And
we started to realize, like, there is a definite reason why, like, the family left the house in the first place. Yeah. Because, I mean, now we're realizing that the house has got secrets. There's definitely a magical element to it. The keys, as they're starting to be introduced, we're realizing are being hidden, like, even if it's in plain sight. That there was definitely, whatever happened at Key House, they were fully like, all right, so then we get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not a good place to be living anymore. Savanna, you're looking kind of squinty-eyed. Like,
Yeah.
are we doing okay here?
Yeah. No, I'm just
No, no.
listening.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't read it, so I'm trying to like think about the things that I don't know yet that you guys do know, and try to not ask the wrong questions. Because
I promise
a bunch of questions.
We are keeping it to just chapter 1 right now. We're not going to ruin it.
Yeah, we're not talking about anything outside of it. Because I did.
The reason that she communicates with him is because he went and found her, or has she been using the picture of her in his office to communicate with other people?
Ooh, I never thought about that.
Why did she choose him? Because she touches on the fact that she needs him for shit, and she's gonna be using him. So she's gonna use him in his ghost form because his body's gone. And then there's the whole like cremation thing, because he's not dead. She broke his neck enough to make him look super dead, so that they take his body away.
Right.
But he's still a ghost on the other side.
Right.
What the fuck is he still gonna be doing for him? Him. Key. There's a key that turns you apparently to a boy or a girl, depending on whatever closet you want to pop out of.
Right.
There's all these magical keys that I'm just like fucking sensory overload on, and I want to know. I want to know all the things.
We've touched on the ghost key. We've touched on the anywhere key. We've touched on the gender key, and I think that's about it. And then they tease you with the brain key.
Right.
And that's the one that he hid with all his memories in it, and just tossed it in a river.
You will discover. You will find out what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that key is capable of doing yet. I wish it had that key.
But yes, I wish I had that key.
I wish I had. But I do gotta say, oh no, I can't talk about my favorite key yet because you guys don't know it yet.
It's coming. It's coming. So now we have. So at some point, I know it seems like this book is so thick and awesome. I love it. So at
that's
some
what
point,
she said.
Hey.
That's
Ding. Thank you for making me feel good.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks, Savanna. So now we've got the family moved back. Then we find out that Sam Lesser has escaped. That he was in like a correctional facility, and this everything we've been talking about, we are putting we're putting everything in place, and now that Sam has chasing down the family again. That's kind of some of the stuff that we were touching on. The family, believe it or not, Tyler gets his second chance at redemption because he does indeed find the family, which only seems to like amplify how much scarier the story gets. Because it turns out, like we talked about, Sam Lesser is definitely a smarter kid. He's very, very methodical, and he's also kind of a sociopath because he has no problem killing. In fact,
yeah.
When we were talking about We Can Never Go Home, they're like, God, these people just keep killing everyone. Like, Sam is that. Every person he runs into eventually fucking dies.
Like, oh, he's not going to kill this person. He fucking killed that person. And you're like, oh, fuck, he's not going to kill this person at all. And you're like, fuck, he killed that dude too? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Like, people, I had to point this out to somebody, and they got angry at me that I pointed it out to them. When he's on the bus and he gets recognized, by a woman with a baby, pretty sure we killed the fucking baby in that scene.
They don't show a dead baby, but she's still holding the baby in front of her gunshot wound.
Yeah.
The baby's not, like, crying. Like, they don't make a point to say the baby's awake. The baby is not awake. And if it is awake, then lucky baby. It was like an infant in a blanket.
It was an infant in a blanket. And they don't... There's things... Well, that's something else we kind of want to talk about. There are things that are alluded to in the comic that I like they don't put it out, like, face first, but... Do you think they sexually harassed, or do you think they sexually assaulted the mom?
Wait, who?
Because there's one panel. Oh, the two idiots, the one that get the axe in the back.
At the very beginning, when they go to the vacation home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did get that feeling. I feel like when they deal with really, really pure dark shit in this comic, they hint at it. They don't really tell you. I like that too. Like they kind of leave you guessing. Yeah. Because what told me that she may have been raped was the fact that her dress was all torn up and she was in a room with the other fucking dude.
I think that they could have just wanted some titty with the swinging axe. Who doesn't want tits and blood? I love tits and blood.
Well, I mean, this is why we all love our Army of Darkness and Evil Dead. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. But I didn't get that at all. I just got that they were because it happened so fast. They're outside with the
Mhm.
kid hiding on the roof. I don't think there was time for that to go down.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? We're talking about the mom, right? We're not talking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
The
Well,
mom.
see, there's this panel, page I think 19.
Because you see the for whatever reason, whenever you see a woman's like high heel somewhere like strewn across
Yeah,
a bed
you
seat,
can see the high heel on the bed, and you
Yeah.
see the dude and the woman are in the room together, and there's bloody prints everywhere. There's a shoe on the bed, and her dress is all torn up, and she's all disheveled.
right.
What page?
Let's see.
It's when they go back and they revisit what actually happened to the family. And the
12,
reason why-
page 12,
Yeah.
12, the bottom panel where he's coming out of the room, and you see like a shoe on the bed, handprints all over the wall, and he's like, then what the fuck was that, or something like that.
So what we're talking about actually, and someone's going to mention this in the chat, so I want to connect these two ideas. Is that one? Leo is saying yes, he thinks it does happen, especially when it shows what's happening after he's pulling out of the panel. Miss Yolanda brought up a really great point. She says that you can tell it did happen because of how she dresses later on in the series, which I thought was a very really keen-eyed way to point that out. Good points to Yolanda. What I love,
What's that?
and I know this is going to sound horrible considering what the subject matter we're talking about right now, I love that it's very Hitchcockian in that you don't necessarily show the horrors and atrocities that happened. You hint at it, you allude to it, and usually the reader or the viewer is going to fill in the worst-case scenario themselves, which is key to, I think, really great horror. And that's why I kind of brought that up, because I don't want to focus on it too much, because it definitely creates a driving force and motivation for who these characters become and who they are later. Definitely explains why she's now walking around with the cane. Like Wanda said, it definitely explains like there's a drastic shift in who the mom is later on in the story. But I mean, as far as good horror goes, I think that's a really good way to go, because it's Joe and Gabrielle just hinting at things, and I think it's when your imagination kicks in. Like that's probably
It really does. Like I was like, I want to read the next one because like I cannot fucking imagine. Yeah, she's drinking heavily like throughout this whole book. They're like 300 bottles of wine should take her like a month to kill.
Yeah, even like so much to the point, dude. So much to the point where like the rest of the family is well aware of it, and because everyone is coping, and especially what happened to her, you can understand why the rest of the family is like, Mom, why don't you crack a couple of corks? I think you kind of earned it for a little bit.
Her dress is shredded and her hair's a mess.
Yeah.
Just how everybody's dealing with everything is just so interesting, and and that's why I love doing this like little show with you guys, because I'm really taking a second look back at the comics I love, and really with an analytical eye, and I'm picking up things that I've never seen before. The fact that you pointed that out, how the mom dressed a certain way at first and now she doesn't, thanks to Yolanda, shout out. I mean, I didn't catch that. I love that. That makes sense. Like, and I don't know if she was
interactive book show. Interactive book show. This is what we're doing.
That makes me think, and that makes me so much more sadder for her character. Because she just wants to be a mom at the end of the day, and she wants to protect her kids, and she's dealing with her own demons, but she has to get through it.
Yeah,
there's no sanity when it comes to being a parent. There is no sanity whatsoever. People are like, oh, you're so fucking angry, or you're so fucking crazy. I'm like, you don't even know.
It's so funny, because I think that was kind of like one of the things we were talking about when we were talking about witches. Like there's so much of who those parents were. It was like, it doesn't make sense. I'm just doing my best so that the horrors of the world.
Don't find me somebody who doesn't have fucking problems. Like, fuck on. Life. People are people. I like that these are some real ass people with some real ass emotional fucking problems. That shit is good to read, and they write it really well. Some people don't write emotional problems well, and you're just like, what the fuck is that? It's not even being not even conveyed the right way. This is very tactful.
No, like I said, I think that's a good way to put it. So where are we in the story now?
We jumped around. We jumped around a lot. So
that's the story. That's why I don't mind doing it. So Lester has now terrorized the family one more time, and then the manipulation, the game is on, as they would say. Echo has exactly what she needs, because now she forces Bodhi into a really shitty situation where no matter what, he has to go find the key to release her from the well, and he's in a position where all this horrible stuff is happening. Now Sam Lesser has found the family again and is terrorizing them, and Bodhi actually ends up giving up the Anywhere key. So now we're watching Echo's plan work perfectly, and we're getting towards the end here, but now we're starting to realize that as the story starts to continue, Tyler is now one of the big endings is Tyler doesn't turn out to be the big hero in this. It's now I'm gonna forget her name. She's one of the best characters. Kinsey. She's the one who actually has a chance of redemption, and she's the one that takes out Sam Lesser. And
it's really a moment for her because she seems to be the one that's the most broken out of the three.
Right.
So you know, it's kind of her facing her fears, and I thought that was really amazing for her character too.
They're from San Francisco, so she kind of at the beginning she has like these cool dreadlocks and this really really hard exterior, and that's all it is a really really hard exterior. It's not even that hard. She's still pretty soft, but she is really 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 sad.
It's really
heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because you see who Kinsey is, and she's got the awesome dreadlocks and piercings, and she's kind of like knows her self-identity. Like, she's pretty, like, confident in who she is as a person. And to see this trauma happen to her, there's nothing worse than watching that person, like, well, I guess I need to revert back and try to look as normal as possible.
She just shriveled up and died on the inside. And you feel and you see that very clearly.
Yeah.
And Bodhi sees that, too. That's a lot of him, like, seeing if he can help them feel better. And all they do is just tell him he's crazy. So that's a little frustrating, but it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, amazing character development. It's so cool to see someone like Kinsey who, like, starts strong. You know who she is as a character, and then the trauma kind of, like, breaks her down. There's nothing worse than, like, watching someone take away what they think makes themselves special and like, not looking for attention, but just, like, again, secure in who they are as a person and have to revert back to, like, well, I need to kind of blend in with the crowd a little bit.
Self-doubt, but another thing, it's not something we all don't deal with every single day, is self-doubt. So seeing it like that in the situation that they were put in, it's very, it's relatable. So instead of saying it's not like real, it's just very relatable, the situations that they are put in.
It really does give you this look into how a child would deal with things and how a teenage girl would deal with things and how a teenage kid, like male, would deal with things. Like, I really love how all the layers in this story. So I don't know. Be ready for Volume 1 because it's loaded with stuff. If you're looking, you will find it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not just a surface read, and this is exactly why we're doing
horror.
this.
You know, it's not just horror, and that's what I love about it. Because a lot of things today are just horror, just, you know, it's just gore, and gore is not horror. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, this one's very mysterious.
Yeah. Oh, and you have no idea. It's going to get so much better. Yeah.
Oh, God. If I could jump into this universe, I would. That's how much I love this.
Like, I kind of want a creepy house. I kind of
don't want a creepy house. I want give me some sage and some witch banishing squad. Danielle, where you at, girl? And your ghost chasers. I need some of that. I'm not down with a house that fucking fucks with me. I like sleep.
Oh, okay. And so this is going to take us to, like, the last part. Kinsey, who, by the way, I'm so glad that she gets her shot redemption. She gets to take down fucking Sam Lesser. Doesn't quite die all the way, because don't forget, now we've got Echo in the well, and she...
Echo out of the well
with the Anywhere key. And she has one more use for Sam, and as he's kind of, like, dying and gurgling, she decides to break his neck a little bit, and still keep him just alive enough, which is still just, like, talking about is making me feel fucking weird right now.
Just dead enough to be morgue certified.
Basically, she does a Batman Dark Knight Returns to the Joker. And she drags him over, grabs the ghost key, and basically, while he's still barely alive, takes the ghost key, opens that threshold, pushes his body out through the threshold. He becomes a corporeal spirit, and what should totally be a dead body essentially becomes a dead body. And there's this really great reveal at the end, because we realize that now that his body really is dead, he's still floating around Key House right now.
And did we talk about how Tyler went through that same door, too?
Oh, yes.
So there was an exchange between Bodhi and the well house. So when you're a ghost, you can imagine where you want to go, and you go there. So he needed to find the anywhere key. So he went to fucking the door, because he has the key, and opens the door, does his thing, finds the key, goes back to his body, and leaves the key in the door consciously. Right? Was that conscious? Yeah. And then so. Tyler fucking is running and goes through the door and gets ghosted. So now he's at this point during the book where he knows about the ghost thing. Because he got to experience it. And that's how he ends up saving Kinsey, and Kinsey ends up shooting the whole thing. Anyway. Spoilered.
So you think everything is totally resolved and it's great and everything's fine, only to find out that now Echo out of the well has the Anywhere key, also has been holding on to a key this entire time that we had not known about.
That's just, she has a patch around her fucking pouch. We don't know how many. What if she has all the keys? She have all the keys in her little magic pouch? She pulls a key out.
Yeah. But we know for sure she obviously had the gender key.
Yeah. So this is the key that she had that we didn't know that existed, that we did not know that she had around her neck. And apparently it's the gender swap key. She's the Anywhere key to travel out of the well house. Shows up someplace, I guess another room, decides to use the powers of the gender key, walks through that threshold, and now she is a he and starts dressing the part, gets a couple of piercings, gets a rad haircut that totally says, I'm a bad guy. Everything about that haircut says I'm a bad guy.
Oh, I love it. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. I was like, oh, that's a good look for you, buddy.
Yeah, and now, like, without a problem, goes up right to the kids, and we are introduced to Echo now as Zach. And Zach is very much, I'm sorry, I keep shaking my camera, guys, forgive me. My thing broke earlier today. Yeah, so now Zach, who is Echo, who's now gender swapped, who has now definitely inserted himself, herself, itself, into the family circle of friends. And
well, he goes to her. So Kinsey is like this fucking badass track star too. She uses that as her like escape, and she's like, now I'm better at running because I have something to run from. Drama. So her coach, the fucking, he shows up at her coach's and he's like, hey, remember that favor I did for you? And now I'm just like, whoa. What
was the favor? What was the thing? Apparently, Echo killed the track coach's dad as a favor, and we don't know that story yet. Don't know. Yeah. And now that's how Volume 1, Welcome to Key House, ends. As now we've got a killer corporeal spirit flying around the house. The family thinks everything's okay and resolved, but now Echo...
It's everything but okay. They killed Lester, but now Echo is running amok town.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and it doesn't end up well for anybody.
And everyone thinks it's okay, but really you as the reader know that, I mean, everything's totally fucked, and now Zach's not done. Echo's not done. There's more to the plan, and that's really fucking frightening. And we actually, as the series goes on, the backstory and the history only makes this so much better.
Did you guys notice that there was a little bit of foreshadowing? Because if you look back to, I think, issue 2 or 3, when
foreshadowing, every page is a hint about what's coming.
Yeah. Remember when Kinsey kind of hurls over the window in the coach's office, and and then she goes, "Oh, that's a beautiful bracelet," and then that kind of makes something in the coach's mind clicks, and then she goes to the yearbook, and then she opens the page, and there's Zach.
Yep, Zach's in that photo.
Zach is in that photo with the father and the coach.
Yeah,
I saw I thought the girl was the coach. I didn't see Zach, but I saw that he was wearing the bracelet.
Because you don't know it's fucking Zach yet. That's the beauty of it.
I know, so you have to look. So there's foreshadowing. You didn't even see it.
Yeah, because now you're doing exactly what we do. And we
there's
start
even
going
more
back.
foreshadowing.
Look at the yearbook picture and then tell me who you see.
Yep, that's Zach. Here we go. I'm going to do this. Screw technology.
Okay. Page.
Zach.
Uh,
So you do the exact same thing we're doing right now.
He looks like fucking Frodo. He's wearing like a fucking. He's got a little leaf clip on his.
Got a little toga thing going on.
On his toga.
Mm-hmm. I want to hit the chat really quickly. Hi, Frida. Good to see you. Also, Lazarus19, he's got some pretty cool questions that will be answered later on as the series goes.
Everybody's like, holy shit, I didn't notice Zach.
Yeah. Yeah. The chat's like, wait, what? So go back and check that out. So that's where we're at. So did you guys, are we cool with this? We're gonna keep doing this for the rest of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've discussed pretty much everything, but essentially it's up to the viewers to pick up this book, read it, and then put what we say together, because it's awesome.
Well, we just basically read it to them.
Yeah, well, this is why they read it with us, and then we discuss it, and that's why.
And from what I've seen, a lot of people in the chat have read it.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people have read this one already. I'm apparently the only person on the planet that hadn't.
It's okay. This is why it's fun, because like I like watching Savanna like go, oh fuck, what's this and what's next, and I'm like, oh, you have no idea.
It was our turn to introduce Savanna to something for once.
Yep.
Boom.
My friend Natalie was really, really bananas about it, and she was like, oh god, you gotta read this book, and this was like years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna read Chew. So it's really funny that we're here now.
So, no, Chew is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. Savanna, from 1 to 10 keys, how many keys do you give it?
I give it 10 keys.
10 keys!
Yes!
There's not really anything I don't like. It's really, really, really cool. I legit cannot wait to read the next one.
Okay, so seriously,
I gave you the digital copies. If you wanted to and buy the hard copy later, you could.
Yeah, I may or may not have told you that I figured it out and really didn't, and just went and bought it. I was like, yeah, I figured that out.
Okay, other things I want to point out to anyone who hasn't bought these yet. I have the hardcover copies. Also, they came out with master editions, which are so goddamn sexy. Yeah, there's plenty of little cool things in the series where, one, there's a great intro by a different writer. Also, there's these really cool maps of how the house is drawn, but from certain different angles, it's never the same. And I thought that was something, I don't want to spoil that. So anyone who picks up the trades, that's a really cool little glimpse into what they're trying to do with this story. So that's that. We are going to talk Volume 2 next week, which I'm very excited about. And like I said, we'll do this all the way through while we're done. What else? Ooh, let's talk about the who won the giveaway.
Yeah.
Last week.
From last week. Actually, I saw the winner on chat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was pretty cool. So I'm really excited to do this.
So if you're not still here, you don't get it. You don't get the prize. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
We're gonna message him. It was actually Lestache from Lestache Gaming. I'll give all the information down below, but he's the one who is actually gonna get this really awesome hardcover, still totally untouched, unseen, virgin copy of We Can Never Go Home. Please always watch the show, because we will do other giveaways in the future, which I'm really excited about. And the cool thing was that Ian is kind of a little social media internet genius. He did find a way that we did it so that it was completely at random and fair, and I thought that was really cool. So I'm really excited that we're going to keep that going. And then, what else should we? I
want to say something. I want to say something.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to Apollo Sketches. He did a fan art of the three of us in YMB, and I just all over the place, just everywhere. I just use your mind. I did it all everywhere. I loved it. The art was amazing. It's on my Instagram. He's very talented. Apollo with 2 L sketches.tumblr.com if you want to look at his art. He's done a lot of Vision, I think I saw, and that I loved. A lot of Avengers stuff I saw that I loved. And he promised that whoever makes the funniest face tonight, he'll do a sketch of that. So.
Okay. Now I'm scared.
I think it's better. I think that's it. That face right there. That was it.
Also, the other cool thing about Apollo, if you look at his art, it's all single line art. So he starts with the pen, and it never lifts up from the page. It's all one singular line that develops the entire picture.
You told me that. That blew my mind.
Yeah. That's why I was like, holy shit, do you realize how fucking awesome this is? So...
And Alexander Davidson said that I'll make some fan art of you guys. We would love that.
I want Space Wolf art. I want Space Wolf art.
Wait, can we take a moment? I did show his art on my screen, but I wasn't talking.
It's
Space
okay.
Wolf. I want to do it now before. Also, shout out to Space Wolf because talent to the max. I was looking at this. Holy shit! Look at this alien, dude. Guys, I'm talking so I can be on.
No,
the screen.
I got you.
Look at this. Look at this shit. Right? This is what you're talking about?
Yeah. Hey, no. Lestache, you're in the chat, dude. You won. You won it. You got the book. I'm sending it to you. I'll give you information later. Yeah. He's super jelly. He wanted to win that. And I'm like, no, dude. You won.
No, don't be jelly. Everybody's jelly of you.
Yeah, the other way around. You won.
I'm the number one son.
So, by the way, I think Yolanda's right. We're just going to use the key scale from now on whenever we talk about books.
Agree. Agree.
So, anyways, I think that's pretty much it because we talked forever because we were really excited to talk about Lock and Key.
Good. That other one that we were gonna talk about, I'm okay with not talking about it today.
Yeah, we're not talking. Okay. We'll talk about that one later. We don't want to bring this one down.
Yeah.
We were totally gonna hate on a comic this week, but we don't have.
Really?
Time. Yeah.
Listen to you, Mr. Potster. Don't even go. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just have nothing nice to say.
Don't say anything.
We just don't say anything.
No.
Okay, so.
I've yet to read it.
Done? Are we done?
I think we're done for the night. I think that's an awesome episode of Your Mom's Basement. Again, I will put context down below. Join us next week as we do Volume 2 of Lock and Key. We'll also check back in and tell you what the next book's going to be. Also, please, guys, like and subscribe and share the video if you thought that was pretty cool. I know it sounded a little weird asking people to do that. And this isn't just an interactive live show. The best part is that these episodes actually go up onto the YouTube channel and stay there forever, just like the rest of your dirty internet search history.
In the cloud.
So the cool thing is, even if you didn't watch this or whatever, read and then come back here because there's going to be comments down below, and then we can keep that conversation going because Ian and myself, we're always on the comment section, always responding, keeping that conversation going, and that's what I'm really fucking stoked about. So this is why this show is so much goddamn fun for us. So every Sunday,
and if anybody wants to make fan art of Savanna, please do. I want to see it. I will make a collage of Savanna fan art, and you can draw her any way you want.
Oh.
If that's an incentive, you have my full permission.
Yeah. And then we're just gonna make screen prints of all of them and sell them.
Oh my God, you guys, shut the
front door. Okay.
I will blow them up and put them behind me.
Savannah, we love you. We're just teasing.
Special or like I feel special, and I feel pretty.
Okay, so I think we talked enough. I think this is fucking awesome. Other than that, guys, you feel good tonight?
So someone said draw Savanna in Mockingbird outfit.
Listen to you. Go for
it. I think we should do it. We're gonna pay for this later after we go off the air.
You betcha.
Alrighty, guys.
That's an idea.
This was awesome. I love you guys. I'll put contents and comments and all that good stuff. Thank you for doing this. We'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific time-ish. I'm trying to get this thing up at 7 o'clock. Usually it's like about 7:10, 7:15. Sorry about that. It's my fault. But in any case, this is Your Mom's Basement. Guys, I love you. I love our Sundays. I'm so glad we got to do this again. It was a good episode.
It was fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya. And we're going to stop the broadcast. Thank you.